Bad, Jeremy.
Hey, my name is Idris Mwite.
Idris, nice to meet you.
Me too.
Come on and have a seat right here for me.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you for taking the time to come in and interview for this position. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to meet with you.
Awesome. So I'm going to just get into it, start asking some questions, and we'll see where we get to.
Sound good.
All right. Can you start off by telling me a little bit about yourself?
About myself, I am a man of God. I do serve the Lord, and I am very passionate to serve people, and I always stand up even in the middle of night to make sure those people needing for some help, they have somebody who can stand up for them. That's something that I love to do all the time.
Awesome. Can you tell me how you manage stress within a work position?
Anytime when I do my job, I have to make sure I get my work done. I have to get my work done. And if there is stress, whatever, you have to work. I always focus on the goal of my daily goals and get it done.
Okay. How do you set goals?
When you come in the morning, you have already, I do have my notebook. I know exactly what to do. And I follow my notebook. In the morning, I do my first task, which is to check my computer, finish to check and see who I have to serve in the morning. And I have my lunch time and take notes and make sure I have all saved. And then go to see client in their houses. That's how I do daily.
So can you tell me what would you say your greatest strength is?
My strength will be make sure I provide high quality service to people we are serving. Client first. And at the same time, I do always make sure I don't use my free time. I don't use my free time for something else. But I do my job based on the schedule given to me. Yes.
And the opposite side of that is, what is your greatest weakness?
Oh, what I can say is this is a good time. I'm making a lot of improvement right now. I used to be, especially taking note, I used to be late. And most of the time they will ask, make sure your notes are in by the 15th. And I will work all night just putting my note. And right now, I'm really improving those, and I'm able to make sure I have my note before the 15th, which is very helpful to me now.
Okay. Can you tell me about a time that you had a disgruntled customer and you had to solve the problem? How did you come up with a solution?
Oh yeah, I've been in such example a lot. You know, when you work with people who kids have been taken away, sometimes they act like they're coming to fight and or whatever. They will ask you, I need my son, I don't come anymore into my house, but you have to teach them the reason why kids came into DCFS. They have to be much responsible. You teach them how to be responsible. You teach them how to become a better parent. So when I talk to them, the first thing I say, I'm here just to help you. I'm here to help you so you can become a better parent. You can parent your kids in a government standard. So making them be responsible for what they have done, it's something that I always bring on the table to make them understand why I have to be coming in their houses to see people. If I'm coming because kids have been in a situation where nobody could help them, and now DCFS have kids, we're coming just so we can protect them and teach you how to protect your own kids.
All right. At this point, I think I just want to ask you, what questions do you have for me?
You know, when I applied for the job, one thing I was looking for, I could not find your mission statement or any core values. I would like to be more very happy if you could provide me your mission statement. To be part of the company, the mission statement will help me a lot to get to know your company.
All right. Our mission statement is that we are going to strive to meet people where they are and provide high quality career development services.
That's exactly what I love doing, making sure nobody's left behind. We can provide high quality to everyone.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for coming in. We plan to be back in touch with you in about 2 weeks. So be ready for that phone call about that time frame.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for giving the opportunity.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Yeah, you too.
All right. So, do we want to talk about things that we saw? I can do some just critiques off the top.
Yes, that would be great.
Awesome.
Yes, let's go first, critiques.
So, very good overall. Very good from start to finish. One thing that I did notice is right at the very beginning, we were a little laid back. We were a little lean back in the seat. We then adjusted, and I think that we saw my body posture was a little lean forward. We got in that same. It's good to be slightly leaned forward. That lean forward is engaging. It's going to show the desire for the job. So try to be just that slight bit lean forward. It's going to help. Now, you don't want to be hunched, but just a little bit of that lean in. The only other thing that I think I can point to is right at the end, we talked about time frame, but we forgot to ask for a business card. You want to get that business card so you can get that thank you note back in.
Oh yeah, from the email.
Yes. But we did a lot of things really well. I don't know if anybody noticed, but eye contact throughout.
Yes.
Yes.
Did anybody notice the hands? We were talking with our hands. Now, not big flashy movements, but we were emphasizing points with our hands. We spoke calmly, not slowly, but at a good, constant speed. We weren't rushing through our answers. Okay, so we didn't feel like anything had to get spit out right then, but at the same time, we didn't feel like we were thinking for hours to try to come up with an answer. We weren't rambling through our answers. So I think a lot of those things were very positive. Like I said, the good eye contact's really good. The hand motions, handshakes before and after were solid. I would say that the one thing that I would say is that whenever you made the first introduction, I would have provided my name before I introduced myself. So right in the beginning, just be like, hey, here's who I am.
Yes.
So, because if I hadn't done the introduction, then maybe we would have gone through the entire interview without saying it, and so I would just make that right off the top. But I think other than that, the quality was very strong there. So,
Awesome.
good job.
Yes. Good job. Oh, come on.
How would you? Come on up here. You're gonna get on camera right now. You're gonna be the interviewer. I'm gonna give you the introduction. Invite me in the room when you get set up here.
Yes, sir. Not here. The door is here.
I'll come in over here then.
Oh, he's going to do it.
Yeah, he's gonna be the interviewer for a second. I'm gonna give him the example.
Oh.
Knock, knock.
Come in.
Hello.
Hello.
My name's Jeremy.
Nice to have you.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's simple.
So there were a few things here. Introduce myself. Eye contact. Smile. Handshake. Now, am I squeezing?
No.
Did I come in like this?
No.
Okay. Then that's our thing.
God, very simple.
That's the magic 4 of hello right there.
All right.
Okay, who do I got for another mock interview? Who wants to be brave, come up here?
Go ahead.
Okay, just so you know the rule. Our doorway is these 2 chairs. You gotta come into the doorway, you gotta give us a knock knock, and we're gonna get going.
Knock, knock. Photo team.
Not a real door.
Knock, knock.
All right, come on in. Hello,
Hello,
I'm Jeremy.
I'm Wayne.
Maureen?
Yeah.
Okay, nice to meet you. Come on in and sit down. All right. So thank you for coming in and interviewing today. I appreciate the opportunity to talk with you and see if you might be a good fit for this position. Can you start off by telling me a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. My name is Wayne, and I'm 18 or about.
18?
Yeah.
All right. Any more that you want to share, your skills, the work experience?
I don't have work experience, but
Okay. Well, at this point, I think I would just want to ask, how do you typically manage stress in your life?
first I can say,
So have you had a time where you had a lot going on that you had to deal with?
no.
How would you say your communication skills are?
Yeah, I'm not very good in communication.
What's your, if you had to give me your greatest skill, what would that be?
Yeah, I can say like to 10, like 5 per time. 5, like in the, how do you say that? Like my communication be like 5, I don't know if you like.
So what is your favorite part about, what's something that you enjoy doing in your everyday life? Okay, so I'm gonna pause right here. Have you gotten a little nervous?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. All right, so how can we combat nervousness is kind of the discussion we're gonna have. So one thing that I would do before you get into an interview room, make sure you're doing something you enjoy, playing music, something that's gonna get you a little bit more relaxed, okay? Realize that the only way you're gonna get better at your interviews is by giving answers, okay? So to the best of your ability, go ahead and give those answers. So when I say tell me about yourself, tell me about who you are, like your skills as a professional, right? So what are you good at?
Yeah. You can see like, what I don't know.
If you were going up to your best friend today and you had to make your best friend like you all over again, what are you going to tell them that you're good at? Can anybody else tell me something they're good at?
I am good at building relationships.
Building relationships. Are you good at building relationships?
She's friendly.
Friendly? That's a skill right there. Being able to work with people. Are you able to work with people?
Yeah.
Yeah? Are you willing to try new things? You came out here today, right? So all these things are things that you can answer with. And then are you good at, are you willing to work hard? That's another skill. All these things are things that you can talk about. And then, now I know you don't have a lot of work experience yet, and that's always difficult. When you don't have a lot of work experience, it's difficult to, well, what about me is good for work?
Yeah.
Well, it's thinking about those things that are going to be good for a job. What do you want to do with your life? Like, what is your goal?
Then I want to be nurse, like,
You want to be a nurse? What does it take to be a good nurse? What would you say right now?
I can say like, be kind, something like that.
Be kind? Do you have to pay attention?
Yeah.
Do you have to have good attention to detail? Okay. Are you good at that?
Something, yeah.
Yeah. Is that something that you think you can develop a skill on? Well, there's another thing you can talk about, right? So if we don't have the work experience, we're going to focus on our skills, okay? So I'm going to give you another question. Just go for it. Answer it as best you can, okay? Don't overthink it, just go, okay? So what's your greatest strength? Okay, so here's what I want you to do, okay? So right now we've had it, we're going through our interview. We're nervous, right? And you're probably not super comfortable with me because this is like the first time you're doing this, right? Okay. You comfortable with a family member, a friend? Okay, start with them. Get a friend or a family member to sit down with you and just ask you questions. Okay? And then upgrade to somebody who's a trusted person, maybe in the community. Come back here. Talk to somebody you trust and have them do the mock interview with you. And then work your way up to doing it kind of with just a complete stranger in an interview room. Because I'll tell you, ultimately at the end of the day, you're going to have to sell yourself. And you had the courage to say, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to do this interview. So you got the courage to do this. But you just gotta get through some of those nerves and sell yourself, okay? Okay? So thank you for your time at the interview. Thank you very much. Okay. Come on. I got a seat right here, interview waiting.
Okay.
You're gonna have to go sometime. Yeah. Knock on that door.
All right. Hello, come on in.
Hi, my name is Jill.
Jeremy, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Please have a seat for me.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time to come in today.
Oh, you're welcome.
Excited to talk to you a little bit about this job. If you don't mind, I'm going to get right into the questions.
Okay.
All right. So can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
So I'm Jill. I studied nursing at Rock Valley College. While I was a student in nursing school, I also worked in a chemical lab at Rock Valley College. So I can say I have some skills in managing the lab, setting experiments and stuff like that. And I also worked at St. Anthony Hospital as a nurse after I graduated. So I have a few experience in the domain too.
Awesome. So what was your favorite experiment at RVC?
I wasn't a big fan of chemistry, but I was helping taking care of the lab and everything. And I would say I had like fun making the solutions for the students and everything. It was very exciting to do.
Awesome. So how do you what would you say your best form of communication is?
I would say verbal communication.
Verbal
like
communication?
Face to face, because I feel like it's easier for me to perceive intentions and like feelings when I see the person actually, because you tend to be a little bit get some type of misinterpretation. An eagle, maybe, probably. I don't like birds, but yes, because I like the fact that they fly high. They reach for the sky. So I would say, as a human being, that's something that everyone is trying to do. Overcome their limits and stuff. So I would say that, probably.
Thank you very much for that.
Oh, you're welcome.
Have you ever had a situation where you had to deal with somebody who was a little bit angry in a job? How did you handle that?
So I actually came across patients that were like quite frustrated with the results, staying in the hospital for longer than expected and everything. I try to make them know that I'm here, I'm available to help as much as I can. Let them express their feelings, like say what makes them angry, show them compassion, and actually show interest by finding what I can do to help resolve the problem. So,
Well, I guess the last question I'm going to ask you for the interview is, what questions do you have for me?
what is your policy like? What is the value of the company? I know the company is like here to serve people, but what did you build that company on? Like, which type of values do you need in the people that work for you?
Well, one of our core values is that we want to make sure that any person who enters our facility leaves having both a positive experience and getting resources that they need to be successful. So we want people to walk out with resources and with good customer service. So we want people who are good in that realm of customer service, but also resource focused.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for taking the time.
Oh, thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Have a great day.
You do the same.
Okay.
All right. She was not here for the business card part. Yeah, so at the end, you want to ask for a business card. That way you can send a thank you note following up from the interview. Another question you could ask at the end is, what is the time frame for this position? Should I expect a call in the future? You can also follow up 7 to 10 days if you don't get one, okay? Yes, sir.
Like when you do your interview and like you wanna go to the bathroom, how you gonna do? You wanna stop the interview?
Well, preferably, we prepare ahead and we use the restroom before we get there, right, usually like right before you leave, whatever you need to do. But if you have to in the middle, I would just let them know that I need to use the restroom. Is it okay that I take a moment to do so?
Because I know some people maybe they go bathroom before, and when they go for the interview, maybe they scared.
Yeah. Yeah, that nervousness can be a real thing. And if you have to, like, I would much, if I'm in an interview with you, I'd much rather you tell me than not. So I would say just, hey, excuse me, I need to use the restroom. Is it possible for me to take just a moment to do so? I think most people will be understanding of that, or they should be anyways. I want to turn back and just talk about a couple of things that I noticed. So you were using your hand throughout, I liked it. One thing I did notice is elbows on the table. If we could just shift that back slightly so your hands are on the table, that's usually probably a little bit better. The other thing that I want to point out on a good, or another thing I want to point out on a good side is there was at least one answer that I saw you really embrace the silence. So you took a second to really collect your thoughts before you gave the answer. I thought that was really well done. One thing that I noticed that you're going to have to work on as you speak probably normally is the So this is something that a lot of people have an issue where they do this a lot, and it's the use of the word I'm confident that we broke 25 during the interview. And you didn't even know you were doing it, did you? Yeah, so most people have no idea that they're using the word but I would say more than 50% of people will use it 100 times in a long interview. It's a nervous tick. So that is literally listening for it as you speak. So that's just something to keep your ear on, to kind of limit those ums. And even you will hear it come out occasionally. Like, it's going to happen. I just did it there. I didn't use the word I used the word like. So there are always going to be those small words that we say. So getting rid of them completely, probably not a thing. Limiting them is where we want to be, okay? I also thought that I threw a curveball at you in that one, and I gave you a question that just doesn't seem like it's part of an interview. What kind of animal are you going to be? There are some questions that are going to get thrown out there, and you're like, what is this question about compared to what I'm interviewing for? Well, that question was all about what was important to you. And you told me that it was about setting high goals and being able to overcome obstacles, which was a great answer. That was a tremendous answer. So, but did you know that were you kind of thinking that's what we were going for with the question?
Probably, because just saying I want to be, I don't know, a cat or something, is not really related to any values or for the employer to get to know you, so it's probably why. The why, probably. So that's all it comes in.
So, I mean, you did so well. I will tell you that my favorite animal on the planet is a duck-billed platypus. Just because it's literally like two animals in one. It's like a rodent, and it's got a duck face on it. It's a weird animal. But I'm not going to use that as my animal of choice for the answer to that question. I'm going to find something where I can use the symbol of it to express who I am as a candidate, right? You could use a lion because you are protective. You could use, the eagle was a great example. Owl, oftentimes thought of as very attentive to detail, right? There's whatever it is that came to mind, as long as you can sell, and the animal is not important. The explanation is what matters. It's how you explained who you are with it. So very well done on that one. Anybody notice anything else that they want to talk about in that interview?
I think you summed it up pretty good. I think the response were clear. She was able to understand the questions, her skills. Yeah.
I also like with the tell me about yourself, you went into a little bit of detail into the work that you've done. That's also, you were kind of in that sweet spot of, you didn't go on for forever, but you talked a little bit of detail. And you could have applied it a little more to the job had you known what the actual job was.
Yes,
Which,
that's what I was going to say. Like,
yes,
what job am I applying for?
right. And that's the nature of a mock interview. We're not on a specific job tonight. So obviously there's going to be certain things that you can't go and do, but you could apply it a little more, but I think for what you had available, that was well done. All right.
So would you give me the job?
You know what? You would definitely be one of my candidates that I would put to the next round.
Good.
So I had a question. I don't
Yes.
know if you answered already. For the
Yes.
what is the best way to tackle that? Or what words would you use instead of
You wouldn't. So the key to is trying to breathe through it. You have to be able to pause. If you realize as I speak, I'm not afraid to pause in between my thoughts to really form out the rest of my sentences. Most people fill that pause with So the best way to combat it is to know that it exists, which is why I brought it up. Because now you know, and I bet you the next time that you do an interview, you're listening for it.
But I feel like it comes more when you're like nervous. Cause
It does.
I mean, knowing that it's a mock interview is like should make you comfortable. But as soon as I got into
I hope that helps.
Here when we spoke about during the interview
Yeah.
question.
So to answer your question, not a trap, but it is the question that a lot of people get themselves knocked out of contention on. Because there's a few ways that you can answer it. You can say, I'm weak here, here, and here, and that's why you should never hire me. That's not a good way to go about it. You could also say, I have no weaknesses whatsoever. That's the worst possible answer you can give. So the way you answered it wasn't bad. It didn't quite check all my boxes, but you did turn it a little bit, which I liked. So if I marked it here correctly, you said your weakness was time management, but that you're good at following directions, and that helps. That was a little bit different than how I would answer it, but you did do some unique things and did try to turn it, which I thought was good. I'm going to give you my answer, since you haven't heard it yet. So I always tell people that I'm a perfectionist. And as a perfectionist, it can be difficult for me to get things done.
Oh man, that's the perfect answer.
But I'm working on it. And at this point, I am able to meet my deadlines while still turning out high quality work. I did 3 things. I gave you a weakness. I'm a perfectionist. 2, I'm working on it. That phrase, hugely important. So I give you a weakness, I'm working on it. That's a good answer. The 3rd thing I did, I turned it back around into a strength. Now I'm able to meet deadlines and still turn out high quality work. Now I just turn that weakness into a strength. So if you give a weakness, you say I'm working on it, and then you turn it into a strength, that's a great answer. And that is one of the most common interview questions you will experience. So you can have that answer ready to go before you go into the interview, because there's a good chance that you're going to hear that question. So think that one through and have it ready to go next time. It'll just be much easier.
And what are some things, like, I know you can't go over all of them, but what are some don'ts, like for interviews, when it comes to the way you dress, the way you speak, some things that you could say that would make the employer say, oh, this is a deal breaker? No, no. Like, what are some things that people ignore or something, but usually put them in the worst place to be chosen for the job?
You want my full interview presentation?
She
No.
wasn't here during that.
No. So when it comes to attire, what you're dressed as, you want to be dressed to the job, professionally to the job. So I'm wearing a suit right now. I put a tie on for most job interviews I'll ever have. But if I worked in CNC machines, I'm not wearing a tie to an interview. Because if they ask me to go down and work with a CNC machine, that tie is probably not a good idea. So you do have to judge it based on where you're working. If you're going to be working outside on a cattle ranch, going in a suit and tie might not be the best idea. But I always recommend whatever the attire is for the job, at least the step above. So whatever you think that you should wear on a day by day to be professional at the workplace, go the next step. Like I would say collared shirt almost always for guys. If you would wear it going to a club, you should not wear it to a job interview. But you do laugh, but I'm serious that people do this. You know, people put smiley faces on resumes. It happens. I've seen it and had the person and know that the person was not a fan of ever taking it off. I'm hoping they're employed, but I have a feeling they might not be. So that's for appearance. I also say, you know, moderation on cologne, deodorants. Use them moderation. and there's my If it comes to how you're acting within the interview, speed, cadence is important. Don't rush. Be friendly, relax as you can. Be enthusiastic. So we did short interviews tonight. I had 6, 7 questions, basically. Interviews can last for an hour,
Jeez.
some longer.
Which kind of jobs? Every jobs could have interviews for hours?
My job has
I,
hour interviews.
I did some job interviews for career development jobs where 8 people in the room. I did that. Then I separately
Because mine was done in 2 steps. I was applying to be a nurse.
Yeah.
And the first one was like a Zoom meeting.
Yeah, sometimes that is the case. And that's actually a good point. Treat a Zoom meeting just like you would an in-person interview. The other thing that I would definitely want to hit on is that your interview starts the moment you walk towards the building. Because the people you interact with at the front desk, people you get tours from, they're going to be people that may have a say in whether you get the job. And I use this as an example. I know a person who was doing hiring who had an assistant provide a tour to each candidate. That assistant, at the end of the tour, would lead the person into the interview room, and while that person went in for the handshake, would give a thumbs up or a thumbs down. It was all based on how that person interacted with them during the tour. Were they on their phone? Were they studying their notes? Were they not paying attention? Thumbs down. Were they engaged? Were they asking questions? Did they care about the tour? Thumbs up. So you went in with a big strike against you if you weren't paying attention from the get-go. And it was only people who got those thumbs up that were moving on to the next round. So you're interviewing with everybody you meet at that company.
I heard that. I was smiling all through the hospital.
Good. Okay. So do we have any more questions for tonight? Do we want to do one more?
Go ahead.
Done.
No more question.
Done.
There's no more question.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
We'll turn the camera off. And let you just do it freely. I feel like you need to get the experience. Come on. Come on.
I'll translate for you.
Yeah.
Let me try.
Yes.
I'm gonna start by my broken English.
We got a knock on the door.
Okay.
My name is John.
John, nice to meet you. Come on, thank you for coming in and interviewing with me today. All right, so I'm going to just jump right into the questions, and please answer them to the best of your